Happy Friday, degenerates, or should I say happy bloodbath day. The market tanked today, but there's good news. But first, we're just going to talk about some of these funds. This is Rec Shares. They are, let me get them all on there, weekly pay. They are growth and income. They're 1 to 1.5 times leverage. So you can expect them to go down. They are all down 1 to 1.5 times. The underlyings were down 5.65%. The Rec shares were down 6.13, which is 108% more than, they went down 108% more than the underlying. So about 1.08% or 1.08%. So I don't cover Recs much. I don't own any Recs, but again, they're growth and income, but they have leverage. There's more upside. They're only half, they do covered calls on half their synthetic positions. So they, when the market's up, they're great. But when it's down, they go down further. Still paying a yield though. What's their yield? Average yield. The best one is at TSII at 70%. Worst one is MSII, which is a strategy fund, at 24%. They're averaging 45% yield. Let's go to YieldMax. By the way, I did all new tabs here since YieldMax went to complete weeklies. And we'll look at those. I mean, everything was down, but Salty, an inverse fund, kind of a hedge for Alti, but not. They it's all different stocks that they're bearish on. They do a strategy on those. Alti does just stocks that they're bullish on. So Alti was down 2.75%. Salty was up 2.76%. And then let's look at some inverse funds. This is why I only own one of these, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But inverse funds are great in a bear market, and I'm not saying we're in a bear market. We just tanked today. I mean, you'll see a lot of red here, but Tesla was down 5%. Crash, which is the inverse on Tesla, was up 3.63. Roblox was up, believe it or not, 0.29%, and Roblee, the YieldMax fund, was up 0.43%. So that's good. Dips, another inverse fund, on NVIDIA. NVIDIA was down 4.95%. Dips was up 3.56%. Gold was up. GDX was up 0.26, GDXY up 0.27, that's a good capture. And then red. Fiat, this is the only inverse that I own. Coinbase was down 7.75%. Fiat was up 4.94%. And they're paying 106%. It's green. It's highlighted in green here. That means of all the YieldMax funds, and I don't cover the weekly or the monthlies or the Target 12s or any of those, just the ones that are going to be weekly next week, their Fiat's paying the highest yield. It's cheap. It's $2.43 a share, and they're averaging 20 cents a share payment. They're going to start paying weekly. We don't know what's going to happen with them. They're Group C, which I have a huge question about Group C, because Group C for YieldMax was every 4 weeks, and they're due this week. But now they've gone to weekly. Are they going to pay 4 weeks worth of distribution, or are they going to cut that and just go to weekly and kind of save the NAV a little bit? Maybe, I don't know. Let me know in the comments, because that's my biggest question. And also Coney. Are they going to pay? They're paying 90%. People love to hate Coney. They were down 7%. Coinbase was down 7.75%. So again, not terrible. The market just was down today. But they're paying 90%. Are they going to put 4 weekly payments into this coming week? Or are they going to kind of, give a fourth of that, save on the NAV a little bit? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, because I'm torn here. And I'm going to do a prediction video tomorrow, so I need to know, do you think they're going to pay a weekly payment or all of them this week and then the weekly payment? So we talked about fiat. Again, red. Winter inverse fund on strategy. Strategy was down 4.84%, and winter was up 3.28%. The Qs were down 3.47%. YQQQ was up 1.79%. That is a short NASDAQ fund. So if you look at this, and again, people in a bull market, they're capped. But the underlyings were down an average of 4.65%. The yield max funds were down 3.06%. So that's good news. They're not capturing the downside as much. Now we go to Defiance. Different story. Everything was just down. Defiance is 1 to 2 times leverage, or they try to capture 1 to 2 times the movement of the underlying. Well, they captured it today. Again, everything down except gold. GLD was up 1.03%. GLDY was up 0.56%. So they didn't capture the full amount. But look here. The underlyings averaged down 5%. The Defiance funds down 7.95% against a little leverage. In a bull market, fantastic. Today was down. Is it a bear market? I don't know. It looks like everything's kind of down in the aftermarket, but these are buying opportunities. I mean, if you want to, Monday's going to be a buy day for me. And I'll tell you what I'm buying on Sunday when I do my top 10. And there's some changes there. Yield boost, double leverage. This is the good news. They do put credit spreads on double leverage funds. With the SPX, it's triple leverage. That's the last one here. But look at what happened. CONL is the double leverage for coin, was down 15%. COIY was only down 9%. So they've got the protective put that they buy further out of the money from the sold. You're limited on the sold put premium. That's your income. But on double leverage, so your IV is higher on those. So that's why they're paying massive yields. But they're all down less than the underlyings. I love this. Again, if it's in blue, I own it. I own COIY, TSYY, and NVYY of the Yield Boost Granite shares. The underlyings were down 11%, almost 12%. The Yield Boost funds were only down 4%. So you've got downside protection with these funds. And they only captured 37% of that loss on the underlyings. They're averaging 105% yield. With the top one being COYY, 164%, pays weekly. I own this. I'm not adding to it because I'm adding to some other stuff, more degenerate stuff, but this is very good news for Yield Boost. I love Yield Boost. And look, a ton of 100% payers. Let's go to Income Blast. New tab. BITK is the only one trading. They have a bunch launching in on November 5th. We will keep an eye on those. They do covered call, synthetic and covered calls on IBIT, very similar to YieldMax. IBIT was down 3.7%. BITK was down 5.5%, so they were down more. Look at this yield, 217% weekly. First two payments they've done, $1.50 and 50 cents, so a lot, it's all over the place. But 217%. That might be what I'm buying on Monday. That or ICOI. It's a toss-up, but BITK is the highest yield, so I might add to that. I just started a position this past week. I bought 4 shares, $100 worth, just to see it. And I'm not crazy about their IT capabilities. I have them up here. They declared yesterday, X dates today. They did not put this dividend on the website till later this morning. I actually emailed Matthew Tuttle. He's the founder and CEO. He emails me personally. I've talked to him about these just via email, and he said he apologized, for not updating it. Big shout out to DC on Facebook. I don't want to use your name unless you want me to, but you know who you are. Who he text messages this team. And he told me 50 cents early this morning. But big shout out to Wolf. This is for you, Wolf, and Wolf's wife. She's becoming a fan of the channel. If you sign up you hit contact on the Tuttle site, you put your name, your email, your message, say add me to your list, please. And he sends an email every morning with just market stuff and what they're thinking. Today it was rare earths, Cold War commodities, super cycle. But this was at like 5 a.m. You go down, you got, it's a huge article, table of contents. But look at this. Today's ex-dividend date for BITK. This week's dividend will be 50 cents a share, payable Monday. So you can get that, early this morning. Me and Wolf were just hitting refresh all night, all day and all night yesterday, trying to get this dividend. Still averaging $1. It's only 2 payments. They pay every week. They declare Thursday, X dates Friday, pays Monday. So we'll keep an eye on that. But big shout out to Wolf. Let's go back to Roundhill. And again, Roundhill is like 1.2 leverage. So they're going to be down more than the underlyings. What stands out? AMD. AMD's been up so much. I knew some profit taking would happen. They're down 7.78%. AMDW down 8.76%. And you'll just see red. They have no inverse funds, so red. Underlyings are down 4.29% as an average. Roundhill down 5.06%. So they're 117% bigger loss, 17% bigger loss. You know what I mean? Because the 1.2 leverage. So everyone loves Roundhill. I love Roundhill. W at one point had doubled in price and paying massive 140%. They're still the best yielder. All the prices are down, so the yield's going to look better. But they were at like 84 a couple of days ago. They're down to 76. They launched at, I think, 40. So still way up on that. But again, the market tanked today, and that's, what do you do? But inverse funds, you may want to look at more of those, and Granite, because they're not capturing the losses. They've got those protective puts. Bitwise, Everyone knows I love Bitwise. I own 3 out of the 4. And they're just a simple, synthetic covered calls, similar to Yield Max, and they kind of follow the underlying. IMST was down 4.57, the underlying down 4.84, so that's good. iKoi, huge fan. That's probably what I'm buying Monday. I don't know. It's between that and BITK, but we'll talk about that when I do my top 10 on Sunday. iKoi down 5.58, Coin down 7.75. So they didn't capture. Again, these are capped. So capped on the upside, but they got the covered calls that are not, they're all going to win their trades on the covered calls because everything was down. They sell calls out of the money, collect the premium. If it goes down, they keep the premium. But we'll see what happens, the next few trading days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so forth. So as a whole, Bitwise was down 4.71% on average, and the underlying's 5.90%. So they only captured 70, so we'll say 80% of the loss. That's good. So that's the coverage. We got all these funds. I'm going to do a prediction video on tomorrow at some point, probably like 7 p.m. I haven't recorded it yet, so I got to record it. I got a ton of used to be the weeklies and then the Yield Max group. Now Yield Max is all of them. There's 53 Yield Max funds. So we're covering tons of funds. And we'll do a fun, little prediction on what they're going to pay this week. Some of them, with Yield Max, some of them pay Thursday, some pay Friday. The usual weeklies, Ulti and all those, used to pay Friday. Now they pay Thursday. And then the group single stock funds, the group funds, they used to be Group A, B, C, and D, they're going to pay Friday like they used to, but every week. Can't wait. But again, please let me know in the comments, do you think Group C will pay a full 4 weeks payment? I'm torn because I think they went to weekly because they want to attract more money. They needed to. It's a hassle on me for sure, with more funds to watch that fast. Like Group A was last week. I wouldn't watch that for 3 weeks. But anyway, let me know. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell, turn notifications to all. You'll get all my videos. And when I do premieres, it's like live. It's pre-recorded, but I'm in the live chat so we can talk about stuff. And let me know what you think. Anyway, not financial advice, of course. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your research. But I kind of share with you my thought process on these, and that's it. So I'll say have a great Friday, and don't worry too much about the market. I'm not. It's a buying opportunity. You may want to look at some inverse funds or buy these dips. Will they go down more? Maybe, but then you can dollar cost average, and we're just going to collect the premiums. We are income investors. We don't care really about these prices as long as they don't go to zero. And I don't think any of these are going to zero. That's my opinion, not financial advice. But they're big companies that they trade on. They don't trade on the penny stocks or anything like that. So that's all I got today. Tomorrow we'll do a prediction video. Sunday we'll do the top 10. And I want to go over my portfolio. I have not put that in yet. I may do that just to show, yield on cost is important, and yield, and compare. Because a lot of these are not as bad as you think. Some are down 50% in price, but they've been paying a dividend that outpaces that. So you're actually up a few percentage points and you're making the income. And that's degenerate. That's what I do. I'm stacking them. I reinvest. I don't take anything out yet until I'm making enough to stop working 9 to 5. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, have a great day, great weekend. I will see you tomorrow at some point, and let's be careful out there.